Wanting to bring the great outdoors in is nothing short of new. Houseplants have been welcomed into homes for centuries. In recent years, a botanical renaissance of sorts has bloomed. The global indoor plants market was valued at just under $20 billion in 2023 and is projected to reach more than $28 billion by 2031. We took a look at what's stemming new life into the market, which truly thrives when it's in the green. Over the past 3 years, Evan Schatz has invested around $6,000 into his houseplant collection. I think to some people they'd go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Does it feel like that to you, or is that I'm a collector and these make my home beautiful?
I would say it definitely makes my home beautiful. It feels like a jungle at times, which is cool, but it also feels really warm and homey.
Schatz curated his collection through this Seattle-based specialty plant company, Peace, Love, and Happiness Club.
I had popped into John and Neil's shop like periodically and always was like, what is going on at this place? It's absolutely beautiful, and didn't know anything about plants.
Okay.
And then kind of naturally discovered this rare plant market.
We just got it in yesterday and we're totally sold out. So
John and Neil would be John Singh and Neil Silverman, the partners behind the shop. An unexpected transition for the duo after years of owning a clothing store.
I grew up in Hawaii, and so my love for plants have always been something I've wanted. Even when I was in college, I was like, how do I get into horticulture?
Okay.
And then when I met Neil, I was like, hey, we're doing fashion, but can we do a little table of air plants? Little section of succulents, and 10% of the store became 20, became 30.
That gradual shift came to a sudden halt in March 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. With in-person businesses like Silverman's and Singh's shut down, they realized they had to make a drastic change to their company to stay afloat.
The first month of the shutdown, we did our in-store sales plan on the web.
So you sold as much as you would have sold?
Of everything, all the categories.
But just with plants, basically.
Just with plants.
Just with plants online.
From fashion houses to greenhouses, their new business blossomed. A botanical wonderland filled with some of the rarest and most exotic houseplants from around the world. The spotted leaves of the Begonia maculata, the vibrant veins of the alocasias, all helping feed a booming plant market during the pandemic. This is a rare
plant. That, through mutation, this is what happens.
Welcoming plants indoors can be traced back to ancient civilizations, with the most notable early example being the Hanging Gardens of Babylon around 600 BC. But in recent years, the typically relaxing hobby took a turn. With high demand and limited supply, the hunt for the hottest houseplant became competitive and pricey.
So we had a caramel marble, which is a philodendron. We sold that for $9,998.
That's insane. I mean, if you have the money and it makes you happy, I guess, but to me, that's insane. That's an insane amount to spend on a plant.
So another thing to think about back then, everybody was getting in on it. We sold philodendron billet variegated, which is a really beautiful plant, but nobody had them. It was really rare. And we sold it for $18,888.
To combat the sticker shock, some in the industry looked for ways to branch out. So how many plants do you have here?
We have just a little bit more than 100,000 plants here.
Horticulturist Andrei Zuska has been working with plants for more than 35 years. He moved from Germany to Washington State to take over the nursery Cascade Tropicals. It's here, within the 24,000 square feet of greenhouse space, that Zuska's been incorporating houseplants grown from tissue culture.
The way to grow plants in vitro or tissue culture, basically cloning plants in a laboratory, so it's not super new, but it wasn't really widespread for a long time. And it then increased and took over half the world almost. We have small little plants.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Each of those baggies has 10 little plants in it that we can now plant in real soil
So
the
that's
first time.
10 plants.
Yes,
And that's 10 plants.
that's right.
A lot easier shipping.
That's right. You can fit a couple thousand plants in one box.
Most lab-grown plantlets are imported from China and India, with the sterile lab environment keeping them free from viruses and diseases they would otherwise face in nature.
Has it seen sunshine?
Never seen sunshine, only fluorescent light bulbs or LED lights, yes.
When propagated through tissue culture, Zuzka says one plant can produce thousands of offspring per year.
Is this the future of houseplants?
Yes and no. Yes, it will be in the future of houseplants. It will always be there,
Yeah.
and it will likely gain more traction. Yet the seed-grown houseplant, the cutting-grown houseplant will always be there too.
Not looking to replace Mother Nature, but to aid her. With the rapidly cloned bioengineered greens helping close the gap between in-demand houseplants and the supply, making the price more accessible.
So a pink princess back in the day was $200-300. Now they're like 18. So
Somebody would say, but you want to sell it for $200-300 because you're going to make more.
Well, we do. The mission isn't to make as much money as possible. And maybe it should be if I want to be a good business person. But the mission here is how much joy can we deliver to as many people as possible? Maybe we should have that one put back with the other ones.
A deep-rooted mission Silverman and Singh carry out one houseplant at a time for their customers and themselves.
even when I was in college, I walked by the horticulture building every day. And I was like, that's what I want to do. But I never did. And 20 years later, I'm doing what I want to do. There's that sense of just appreciation of nature. The time and effort that you put into something, you're rewarded. And I think that's what a lot of people feel too, that they don't get that at work. So when they come home, they nurture these plants and the plants give back.
And I know you have plants at home, so you get this. You get
Yes.
something from the plants. Let me point out something about these high-priced ones.
Right.
Some people do see it as an investment because you can do the cuttings that you heard Zuzka mention. You can cut the leaves, grow a plant.
That's a good point.
Sell that plant. So there is investment there also. But it really seemed like for a lot of people, this is just beautifying their home and giving them this piece of nature inside. I still don't get the prices.
And it cleans the air.
It does.
And if you don't have $10,000 to spare, you can buy the seeds, go to Home Depot, go to Trader Joe's or your local grocery
right,
store.
and the
get
tissue
started.
culture is really bringing the price down on some of those, including some of these more rare varieties that you're seeing.
Yeah.
So that helps as well. As you could tell, I was blown away, though.
It was a
with
great
this.
story, and your story calmed me down. Dana, thank you for that.
Thanks.